Well, hey, good morning. Welcome to the Blue Gamer Bluecast Morning Show. I'm your host, Adam Blue, 30 plus year video game enthusiast and industry analyst. How did I do that? Because I say it so much. Okay, and for May 6, 2025, we'll jump into the latest gaming news, what I've been playing, stuff like that. Yeah, we're going to talk games like we do every morning before I start work. I think it's a great way to start work, right? My coffee isn't ready yet. Wife is getting that. I used to be the one to make the coffee. And then now she is, because we want to try to not go to Starbucks. Yeah, that's a little tidbit for this morning. But yeah, let's jump into it, shall we? Did I already say hello, Ultronimus, Chris, Jam, KillX? Good to see all you guys already here. I love it. I love it. Now we can talk the gaming. Okay, so what have I been playing? I actually been playing more Dynasty Warriors Origins. Not that I have too much time into it, but an hour and 40 minutes. I'm having a blast with it. You know, it's for me. I feel like it's the next step the Dynasty Warriors games have needed to take. I've never fully completed any Dynasty Warriors game before. I have played them and found them fun, but also found them to get boring real quick. I think the closest was with the first Hyrule Warriors because they have, the Z targeting that's classic with Zelda. They integrated it into Dynasty Warriors, even though that Z targeting has kind of turned into like what we see in most games now where you click right stick to lock on so that you can then jump around, do moves. And that was in Hyrule Warriors, and they now have that here in Dynasty Warriors. So there's the lock on, there's the parry system, the dodge system. There's also, special moves when you hold down RB. I might play some here in a little bit because I'm loving it, but I feel like it's just a great schlocky action game. And again, the other part, when it comes to story, I don't know how much people love Dynasty Warrior stories. I don't want to be mean, but I kind of don't care. I know it's supposed to be like a play on, some of the ruling kingdoms in ancient China, maybe. And just this kind of goes into some fantasy elements. It wasn't too far into where the guys I'm fighting can turn into like these almost zombies, and you can't kill them until you hold down left trigger that does this like special vision that you can see this purple trail that goes to where maybe the root of those zombie enemies are. So it's very interesting. I've never played a proper Dynasty Warriors game long enough to see if it ever gets into fantasy. I know I've played a bunch and it never, that far into it where there's like demons or whatever. So I don't know if it's new for this or they've done that before, but I've also played the Fist of the North Star Musu game. I forget how you actually pronounce it. Loved that. Sort of the Berserk, whatever that was called. I enjoy that too. I enjoy these games, but it takes a lot to have me fully complete them. I feel like the Dynasty Warriors Origins has enough mechanics in it, and I love the upgrade path. It's almost simple. It's really just about using your weapon, which I think they did that in the previous ones, but there's that, and then there's another upgrade path. I feel like Dynasty Warriors hits that right middle line of not being a full-on like hardcore Souls action game, but it's also not simple like a previous Dynasty Warriors or like when you're playing like Earth Defense Force or something where it's a little more mindless. This actually is right in between. Now, there was a time when I was playing and I was kind of sloppily just mashing, not really caring about some enemy attacks, and I got hit so bad and my health went down. I had to use, and I forgot if it was in the other ones, but it's just like Souls now where it's like a D-pad press for your health and you only have limited amount. I liked that because it got me to check myself for a second to be like, oh yeah, I can't just, aimlessly whack around my sword. This game really does require a little more thought, and I really appreciate that. The story is quite popular amongst the hardcore Warriors fans. So is that what it is then? Because I find no interest in the story, even though I like this stuff to agree, like in the movies. But when I'm playing a game, it's, again, the whole thing with, I think, my personal tastes is it's really hard to get me to sit down and just focus on the story of a game when I really just play for mechanics. Berserk Band of the Hawk. That was one of the only two Warriors games I couldn't get into. Yeah, and I didn't play too much, and my brother couldn't get into it either. So maybe there's truth there. Chinese history, but wuxified. Okay, so that's what people like then. That's why those movies are popular, like Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. And I like them too, don't get me wrong. But yeah, it's interesting that people love those stories. So I think Dynasty Warriors is fun. I love the graphics. I love the way they're doing the gameplay. I might be playing this more. And then yesterday, you guys saw me play Darkenstein 3D. That looked cool. I might play the full one when the full one comes out, but that's like a demo where I wouldn't play most of it because it's like I kind of get what it's doing. I'd rather do the final. And then I played about an hour of Palia or Palia. So this is interesting. I almost didn't recognize the game because it looks like any other game. Best way to describe this is Minecraft meets Breath of the Wild. And I really think that does it justice. It almost has V-Rising in it, but I think it's just because I just played V-Rising and it's the same perspective. But V-Rising really is a lot of just Minecraft stuff, right? But the Breath of the Wild here stuff that works is great because of the exploration and the climbing. You have the stamina meter for when you're climbing. And even in the intro, you get to a part where the world opens up and shows the land. And as I'm running around, there are other people running around too, and it makes me feel connected. And I like that in video games. While I'm just building my own little house right now. So, yeah, that's where I would say the boring part comes from this is the harvesting the resources. When you build a building and place it, it's immediate. But when you have to go out and harvest for wood or stone, there is the hold down the button, watch the meter go down, get the next thing, watch the meter get down. And I think I'm getting to a point in video games where I'm over that because V-Rising that it tested my patience quite a bit. Where and what I'm trying to say is most of the game, if you were to add up all your time, most of the time in the game would be of gathering resources. Sure, it's rewarding at the end because you've got your thing built and then you've upgraded, but I have a hard time sometimes in games long term when the majority of the actual hands-on is resource gathering. We'll see how that works with this game because it's free to play. It's in early access and it's free to play. I don't know if it's going to be they're going to charge for it when it's out of early access. But the other thing is this game doesn't have traditional, as far as I know, combat or death. There's times where I've fallen in water and it just respawns me right before I had fallen. And I think the point of this game is to be a Minecraft plus Breath of the Wild that is a chill game. And I kind of like that. So I'm going to dive in a little more to see if I can find a groove and maybe make this I was talking about that, I think with Ultronymous or someone about having that, what's that side game? What's that other game you have in the background that you play in? It could be Genshin Impact. That was a good, actually, suggestion. But I think it could be this. It's easy for most people to dismiss Dynasty Warriors stories because all they see is mashing and wiping 1,000 dudes in 5 minutes. So, yeah. Exactly, and I think that's why then I would not get into it as much because I wasn't trying to pay attention to story. So that's on me. Okay, so so Dynasty Warriors Origins, Palia, two pretty fun games. Yeah. Okay, so let's jump into some news. Echo the Dolphin is getting a new game. So I had this on the Sega Genesis back in the day, and I never beat it. Don't even think I really got far. I think when the Sega Genesis came out, these were just one of the games you had if you didn't rent it or you got it cheap somehow. I for the time, it was interesting because the graphics were very good, for seeing the water, seeing the dolphin, all that. And just the way it worked, kind of the fantasy elements was interesting. Then there was the sequel, played a little bit of that. Never really spent substantial time and at my age to really understand what I was actually playing. I did play it again recently, actually on an emulator, but I just moved on. Anyway, what's interesting about this is they plan to remaster the games and make a sequel, which is very interesting. And I think it's one of the original developers. Let's see. According to Annunziata, the new game will feature contemporary play and GPU sensibilities. More information on both of the remasters and the new game will come in the future via the game's website for now. As of publishing, at least, there's a countdown on the game's website for 8,000 hours That converts to 355 days and 9 hours. So the original Echo the Dolphin was released in 1992, and the sequel was in 1994. And yes, they had the Game Gear and CD games and the Echo Junior. And didn't they even have that other console, the Pico or whatever? And it had an Echo game. And then, yeah, they were going to make a Dreamcast game that got canceled, which was unfortunate. So now I don't know for sure if it's the original developer. I think I just said that. Maybe I heard that somewhere or not. I'm not too sure. Echo Hype, but will it have time travel and aliens again? I bet the if they make the new game, it's going to be all out that stuff. So that's pretty neat. And speaking of bringing back other games, Gears of War, the original Gears of War, now called Reloaded. It's like the second or third remaster for Gears of War, is coming to PS5, but also Series X and PC at the end of August. I have a very interesting relationship with Gears of War. And it was very funny because I even have, and it's probably still up on my Blue Gamer website, when Gears of War first came out, before it first came out, I remember reading a preview of someone just knocking the game, saying it's really just nothing, and why are people so hyped for this? And at the time, I remember thinking, this guy hasn't even played through the game. It's not even out yet, and he's saying all this stuff. He doesn't know what he's talking about. And I wrote that in an article, and then I played the game. And then I got it, and then I had to write an article to be like, I get what this guy is saying. And I feel like this still stands, and I think this was an example of a turning point in video game history. Gears of War really did establish the super, like, kind of mainstream gaming thing. I think Halo was the door that opened for people to get in on the home console, like, beyond the people that already were into gaming or into PC gaming and would get an Xbox. You get all these hey, let's play Halo. Let's get a bunch of people over to play Halo. Now they're in Xbox. Now you have Gears of War, and Gears of War kind of utilized sort of, I guess, that foundation of the, hey, everyone, mostly college age, I would say, but, people hanging around the Xbox playing some Halo. I was doing that a whole ton back when it came out, and I was living on my own at that time, so there was a lot of that. There was a lot of going to people's houses, playing Halo with people that don't have an Xbox, don't play video games, and now they're into Halo. And then what happens? They get into Gears of War, and I guess what I'm trying to say is, I always felt like Gears of War was that super basic. Here's that entry into third-person shooting, almost to where the game does some controlling for you, to where the game is even more streamlined in its approachability. Because of that feeling of the game, I found the Gears of War games to always be a little, under what I would for my hardcore game type. I don't know, and I've always played them through the years. Maybe not the most recent one, or maybe just to see the graphics, but they've still never been able to hit it for me. It seems like it's sort of this linear, here's discussion and conversation, which is okay. And then, a whole bunch of them are coming out. Let's shoot. And now let's use the cover system, which I like cover systems, but I never was into the one in Gears of War, because, again, it's very much where it is in control. More of the game is in control for you than you think. You're almost just interacting, again, with, like, going up against the wall or what direction you're going to go to. It almost plays linearly. Anyway. Well, they missed out on using active reload or with the title. So, one, hilarious. Two, I will give them that. I love that system, that active reload, and I like it when games use it. That is the other aspect, and I kind of see why they introduced it. It's almost like, well, you're doing this reload mechanic that's almost mindless, right? It's like, why do you need to reload in a lot of these games? It doesn't matter if there's already rounds in the magazine or in the chamber, because when you exit the magazine and put another one in, it's still going to count the total. And so it almost, to me, I've always felt like reloading never mattered in games. It's almost just like a thing to press to then shoot more. But Gears of War did it where it added that active reload where you press the button at the right time and it's a quicker, faster reload. That is a great idea. It's kind of simple, but it just adds another layer that you need on these games. So I'll give them that. But It's very fascinating how I have never been able to get into these games. So here we go. If on August 26th, which is right near my birthday, we have it being released on PlayStation and PC with this new reloaded version, I feel like a lot of people are going to play. And I almost just want to be a part of that. So that could be fun to do. And I'm sure it's going to be on Game Pass. So it's not like I got to buy it, you know. So yeah, that's the good news out of this. I've never really cared about Gears of War in the past, even though I've tried and I was wrong about thinking it should be awesome and I never thought it was. But I think it would be pretty cool one day if I was able to beat each game. I remember I tried beating Gears of War 1. I just got bored out of my mind. And I think in that first one too, you can't skip cutscenes even if you die. And I was like, okay. All right. Moving on from Gears of War. Skype is officially no more as Microsoft shuts it down. Man, I used Skype so much in the past. All the original Blue Gamer Bluecast from 2006 on were Skype recording. I bought this app that would record Skype calls, and that's how I did my podcast back in the day. And then moving into jobs where there's a lot of either remote discussion or just chatting in general, it was Skype. Some would use, I forget what the name of, there's, these other companies, whatever. But then Microsoft had their own Teams thing. And so I'm more in a Microsoft work environment. So it's all using Teams. Teams is very similar to Discord. I kind of see where this evolution has gone. Skype didn't really offer that much more for chatting than you get out of like Discord and Teams. So it's just kind of crazy because Skype was used all the time for so much. But yeah, I guess the idea here is that it's officially shut down, which you could have told me that a year ago and I would have believed you. Just that's how much I wasn't using it. All right. Amazon Prime Gaming's 23 free games for May include Lego Star Wars, TCS, and another free Xbox game. That's pretty cool that they have free Xbox games. But it makes sense if some of these Xbox games are cross-play with PC. That's we're seeing little hints of the future of gaming by seeing Amazon giving away Xbox games. I'm just saying. Okay. Let's see. What's the list of games here? Available now, Star Wars Galactic Battlegrounds Saga. Wow, that's pretty good. Lego Star Wars The Complete Saga, Styx, Master of Shadows. That's like the stealth game. Okay, May 8th, we'll get Wolfenstein 2, The New Colossus, Amnesia. And I haven't beat any of the new Wolfenstein games other than the first new one they came out with. New Order or World Order, whatever that first one was. And then after that, I just couldn't get into them. Amnesia, Hypnospace Outlaw, that's funny. Doors Paradox. May 15th, Saints Row, Get Out of Hell. Golf with Your Friends, that's a good one. Legacy of Kain, Blood Omen 2, that might be the original. And the mail time, let's see, May 22nd. Thief 2, Chesarama. And then May 29th, Samurai Bringer. That's a good one, but that's going to be on the Amazon Games app. And then a few other games there. Nothing too crazy, I guess. And then following its surprise release, Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion Remastered is the third best-selling game of the year. That is crazy. I guess that's what behind... Wait, it's behind Monster Hunter Wilds and Assassin's Creed. So it makes sense that these three... This is 360 all over again. No, it's not. Monster Hunter Wilds wasn't on there. But just seeing Oblivion and Assassin's Creed being top sellers, that it's interesting. For as much as the industry has seemingly changed, and as long as those games have been out, it's funny that it's still the same. I wonder if there's something there that we could learn. Because along with that is Expedition 33 selling really good, especially alongside Oblivion. So it's like sometimes when you hear these publishers say, some people don't have the money to buy so many different types of games or games they don't know about. I feel like buying a remaster, Oblivion, so many years later, at the same time, Claire Obscure selling 2 million and it's a French JRPG. I feel like we still further don't know what the market really wants. Again, I feel like the real gaming market, the publishers think this is the size of the gaming market. I think the true size of the gaming market is this. There's just the fringe of mainstream, Assassin's Creed, stuff like that. So yeah. What was the other point I was gonna make about this? I think I had another point, but maybe not. Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna move on right now because I want to show you guys Palia. Even though I also meant to play this Captain Blood demo, but it has an update. I need to remember the Captain Blood. I wanted to show you guys that because I haven't seen it yet. But let's look at Palia or Palia. Again, I feel like I've seen this. I mean, I guess this game's been out for a year, like in early access anyway. Now. Okay, well, I think it beat me. Okay, let's do this. It does seem to take some time to load. And yeah, that's one of the interesting things where I feel like this game sort of looks like a bunch of other games, right? And so hopefully that doesn't keep it from whatever. Man, this beta be faster next time. Get it? Okay. Press any key to start. Let's see. Gears of War art design was always just too dark for me to get into. Like, it was too realistic, especially that time where... Yeah, no, I agree. It's kind of this dark realistic where then the human characters are kind of cartoony, though, right? Because they made them kind of exaggerated. Yeah, I always had a hard time really jiving with that art style. Okay. So, again, I feel like this is made to be a cozy game, which is a cool element of it. All right, so to get an idea, here's a plot of land I was given, and if I click the left, yeah. And as I go, apparently I can unlock these other areas to expand. I first had this tent, and I moved it in the back here so I could start building my house in the front. I have a mailbox. Dear Adam, looks like you've been improving your foraging skills. Why don't you stop by the inn later? I'll teach you how to build a sawmill that could put your supplies to use. That's exactly what I need to do to finish my house. And so, like, I have some plants here, and I accidentally broke this fence when I was putting the garden down, and then I can get some water to then plant. Left trigger to get to any of your items. It's like I didn't have to make them. So I feel like there's a lot of, like, shortcuts. So I guess I can walk out here to go to the world, or I think I can do this. Oh, that's other plots. And then let me see what... I think there's a fast travel system. Interesting. What is the point of this? Oh, you can tour other people's homes? Let's just do this real quick, because I haven't seen this. I don't know what to expect. Ah. Interesting. Wow, look at this person's... Look what they've done. They have 2 entrances. This is all for fall, and I guess... Is that Christmas? Anyway, let's just go in. There's a B button, or there's a jump button, and it's B, the B button. How odd is that? Okay, we've got some friends chilling here. Wow, look at... This is where it feels or looks like V Rising. Wow. Okay, so I guess they got a bunch of pets. Yeah, look over on the left. They have like 294. I don't know what that is. Wow. So I guess this is something I could eventually do. So now how do I get out of this? Oh, yeah, let me... What do I think of this home? It's amazing. Oh, okay. Oh, return home. Okay, yeah, let's return. All right. So then, to get... Let me go through here. And then I think... And guys, you're not going to believe this. The button to run is Y. So jump is B. Run is Y. I know. We've never heard of that before, but... Or have we? Back on the NES when there was only A and B, B was jump a lot. That doesn't count. Those are switched. Wow, I quickly loaded into the house and then back, but to go into the world... Okay. So here's someone there. I don't know if they're a real person or just an AI bot. But yeah, so now you go into the world and you can see there's like this... Yeah, and it says, let's see. Map. There's other people. And you can see them walking around on here. Like you see I have my mouse on the person, or the cursor on the person walking around. So yeah, to go to my house, I go there, and then there's all this other stuff I could go and do, and I think there's probably some missions. So yeah, let's go run around. Oh yeah, I had to go talk to this guy over here anyway. Yeah, there's someone. And again, I don't know how many of these people are actually players. I mean, that name looks like an actual player. All right, and then a couple other things to mention is, like, again, the graphics. It looks cool because it's Breath of the Wild, but I think it's hard to, for people to... Oh, that's cool. It's hard for it to stand out, is, I guess, what I'm trying to say. A little grasshopper. I wonder if you, like, catch that stuff later. Anyway. Okay, so... Something to, yeah, make wood. I don't have any money.
Try not to work too hard out there.
Okay, so maybe I can build it. Oh. Let me go with this person. Maybe we can go hunting. Oh, another person there. So it is pretty cool how often you do run into people. Oh, I guess. Yeah, and really, it's one of those things too where you can get lost into what to do because there's so... Oh, they have a... did you see that? Did you guys see that? They jumped and had a... Okay. I need to get one of those. All right. Okay, obtain the recipe for the stone from at mining level 2. Look at these bugs. That's funny. Should I really be hunting? I almost feel bad. Oh. Oh, insects. Is that what that's for? Okay. I feel like they make all the little things that are in these open world games easy. Like, where there's not, like, much to it, to Let's see. So it looks like I can talk to some of these people. Can I put a marker on them? Did that work? Yeah. All right, and it is about that time, so yeah, I'm gonna go talk to this person and then bounce. Oh, there's some people hanging out here.
Get on with it.
This wasn't the guy I was supposed to go to, but... Okay. I guess I gotta learn hunting anyway. And that, I guess that's what it is. Like, you'll go around and discover people to talk to that kind of move forward. Crafting abilities.
Man, I'm hungry.
Oh, so this is for the bug catching. Okay.
Yeah.
And it seems like after you talk to each person, you want to talk to them again, and it might give you some more stuff. All right, so I'm just finding things on the ground. That's nice. Oh, that's probably for fishing. Let me just go there, and then I'll... Oh, I didn't mean to do that. Here's the store. So how does this game make money? It's all cosmetics. It's all cosmetics, so it's not like necessary. Oh, here's the thing with the bug. Didn't I have... Was that it? No? Okay. Okay, didn't mean to do that. Uh-oh, is this one of those games where it's like, okay, just one more thing. One more thing. I want to find a bug before I go. That might not count. Oh, it did. Nice. All right, so that person was talking to that. So I love... It's a thing I like in games, is I like that you don't have to be working with the other people, but they're in the world. Okay.
I am not practiced in conversation closing rituals.
I'm not practiced in conversation closing rituals. I can relate to that. I was like, is that supposed to be something that's just artwork they have up there? Okay, well, you know what? I kind of want to stay in this world, but I got to get going. But that is this game. It's pretty cool. I got to say, for a free game, well, at least free for now, let me pull up the store. Release date was March 25th, 2024. It doesn't even say like it's in early access anymore, unless oh, an expansion is coming soon. For an adventure zone. So I haven't even got to that part of it. Let's see. Anything else about this? No, I'm really intrigued by this game. I think I'm going to play it a bit more. Again, it's kind of the background game, the, you know, non-essential, but it's kind of good for a cozy time. But all right, it's that time. I got to get going, guys. Hope you all have a good rest of the day, and we will talk tomorrow. See y'all.